for those of us who are animal lovers, and particularly for the dog lovers out there, and I know there are lots of you, sometimes we can find that if we get that gorgeous fluffy little puppy, we don't quite know what to do with them after that, because there can be a little bit of training involved, be it to have a situation where they can live within the home, or whether they can settle wherever it is their home is going to be, if it's outdoors, and also generally, I suppose, ideas as to how to have a situation where, their behaviours are acceptable. One of the big things you often hear people talk about is, dogs pulling on a lead when you go out for a walk. And of course, they're not used to it. I mean, it's news to them to be restrained. They're used to being able to just run wherever they want. Well, in saying all of that, Renee Patience opened a business called the Paws Academy, and that's PAWS, clever name. And, she's based in Mayo, based in Ballycroy, and also in Westport. But she won the Dog Trainer of the Year award for 2025. And I just want to wish her a big congratulations. You're very welcome, Renee. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Well, thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me today. Thank you for the congratulations.
Well, it deserves recognition, because I know there are an awful lot of dog lovers in the country, but we in Mayo have a dog trainer who has actually won a national award, and it's a very accessible route for anybody who's listening and would like to give their dog just a little bit of behavioural training to go and chat to you. An award like that probably wasn't what you had in your mind when you set up Paws Academy. Take me back to the early days when you were thinking that this would be a nice route for you to go.
So, no, awards were never actually on my radar. So I have had a love for dogs since I was a child. And so I've been training for over 30 years. Now, we moved to Mayo 2017, so eight years ago. And it was at that point that I sort of looked. So I was dog training part-time in the UK alongside my sort of day job, and then when we moved here, I sort of set this up more as a proper business to help dogs and their owners, and it's grown exponentially since we lived here. So we don't just support Mayo, we actually support global clients. So we do a lot of online training that came about more from when COVID was here. So we had to think a bit outside the box of how could we support people. So we actually have clients globally, which is really nice, as well as our sort of core local clients across Mayo and then further afield in Ireland.
And a lot of people wouldn't realise that actually that's an option, the online training, because, it's the way forward, really, in terms of accessibility, because even with time, people have time pressures with anybody who's working outside the home or whatever, to try and fit in a bit of dog training around all of that isn't easy, but online makes it a bit more flexible for people who are coming to you for guidance. You're out in Ballycroy, and you also do a little bit in Westport. Now, Ballycroy, it's a fantastic part of the world. Not the easiest in terms of setting up a business, mind you. How did you find all that? But great open spaces, no doubt.
Oh, so I tell you, living in Ballycroy is the best thing we have ever done.
Lovely to hear that.
The air quality, the calm, the peacefulness, it's amazing. It is challenging for people to come to us. We are typically, for most people, at least an hour's drive. So I do my agility training only in Westport, in Ballycroy versus Westport, because we have all the equipment here. But that's also why we train at Drummondoo Stud in Westport.
Oh, nice idea.
That tends to be more accessible for people. It's also indoors, so I don't have to cancel or reschedule due to the weather concerns that we sometimes have, especially in Ballycroy. So that makes it a bit easier. And then I have a larger catchment area for people that want to come and see me in person by doing it that way. And the family, the Foys at Drummondoo Stud, are amazing and really supportive, and have been really supportive to me as a business for using their facilities, which also really helps you, when you are setting up or you are a small business in the area.
And do you find, in terms of just the logistics around animal training, I'd say you'd need a lot of patience. From your point of view, dog breeds in general, is there a common formula, or are they all sort of at different levels? I mean, I have collies who love exercise. You know, they're a busy dog, the same, I suppose, as Springer Spaniels would be. But I suppose there are more placid dogs out there as well. Do you have to customise your training for the dog breed or the mixed breeds, or is it something that you find if you give them the right training, all dogs can be trained?
I think the last statement is true. If you give them the right training, every single dog can be trained. A lot of what I do, though, isn't necessarily training the dog per se, it's training the owner.
Clever, yeah.
If that makes sense.
Because, it does make sense, yeah.
And, I have collies as well, so I absolutely, they're one of my favourite breeds because I have collies. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend a collie to a first-time dog owner because collies are sometimes too smart for their own good.
They're very intelligent, aren't they? Really and truly.
That can be such a double-edged sword because they're so bright, they pick things up quickly, but then they can also pick up things that perhaps you don't want just as quickly. But again, you can have variants of personalities, if you like, within a breed.
That's right.
So every single dog is different. So, for instance, puppy school, we do sort of have more of a set agenda that we need to go through each week. But that still doesn't mean that I don't potentially tweak that agenda for each dog that's in the class, because you'll have a different varying size dogs, you can have different ages, you can have owners with different experience. So whilst there might be a set agenda, we do tweak that still to every individual family, person and their dog within that setup, because you cannot, it's the same, I guess, as teaching a child at school. There can't be a one-size-fits-all because everybody's got a different personality, different way of learning, etc. And so that's exactly the same principle when we're teaching puppies, dogs, be that from puppies right through to obedience to behaviour issues.
And Renee, just in terms of time, we're running short, unfortunately, but it's fascinating to listen to you and to listen to your knowledge as well. The Dog Trainer of the Year Award 2025, I presume you're going to have that displayed with a badge of honour for yourself and for the business moving forward. Oh,
yes, I am. I was ecstatic. I wasn't expecting to win. So, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that I had a very good night with quite a few drinks afterwards.
You deserve that.
Sore head the next day.
Yeah.
But no, yes, I was very, very surprised, very honoured actually, because it was a very tough category.
It was. It's a national award.
Really
well done.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Before you go, would you mind just sharing contact details with us as well, Renee? Because sure as to goodness there'll be people listening who are thinking, oh gosh, I could do with having a chat with Renee.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So we're Paws Academy on all social media. Our website is called Paws Academy, but the actual URL is www.thetrainingofdogs.com.
Well done. Keep up the great work, and I'll be getting in touch with you, I can tell you, with some of the behaviours I'm dealing with. All right, listen, thank you. Have a great day, and well done you. All the best.
Yes, thank you very much. And